to be making and selling German beers, I want to have like that German kind of cultural experience
It's true.
you know, we can stand behind.
But until we can drink at 9 a.m. in Ottawa, you can't do German style.
I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
you do
It's
a
about to
pretty,
change it.
you do a pretty good job
We're
of drinking
almost
at 9 a.m. in the
Well, I
morning.
do, but I mean everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, Clean Cut's a perfect 9 a.m. beer.
It is.
It really
it's
is.
good at 7 too.
6:30.
Yep.
Anytime.
See, he wins.
All right.
Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 136 of Beer and Other Shit podcast. This afternoon, we are in glorious Ottawa, Ontario, once again at Beyond the Pale with co-founders Shane and Rob. Gentlemen, thanks for hanging out.
Oh yeah.
Great to be here.
Thank you very much.
Place is awesome. First time here. It's freaking huge.
Thank you.
Still surprised how large it is. I'm very happy for you guys.
Thank you.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
The beer is great. We're gonna drink a bunch of that. We're gonna
Yeah.
talk a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Right?
You ready?
I am.
You ready? What do we got here? What's this bad boy?
This is Clean Cut.
Kolsch?
Kolsch.
Nice. How is that a relatively new one? Is it? How long's that been around?
When did we release Clean Cut?
Last year.
Last year. Yep.
Nice.
Just a couple of small batches. This year we're ramping up production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid beer. Nice malty.
We
Crushed.
sold what we had and we like it a lot, so we'll drink the rest if it doesn't sell. So.
It's not a bad problem to have. Then.
Yeah, it's not bad.
We wanted something, a lot of the beers that we did from the time we started were higher ABV, big hops, and we wanted something that was more approachable.
Right.
And so that was sort of the idea behind it. We didn't want to come out with something plain, I think, more or less, and we wanted to sort of have some character to it, and that was where this came from. So.
I think when I saw it first on Instagram, my immediate thought was, oh, that's different for you guys. Like, not off-brand, but like, oh, cool.
It was
into the crispies.
You know, it was borderline off-brand, but
Yeah.
it definitely played into what we wanted to drink at the time.
Yeah.
And it kind of played into that whole. We had told you the story earlier about the tour, sending Jean-Benoit, our brewer, off to Cologne, learning to brew, proper Kolsch from the guys who brew it.
Right.
Drinking a fair bit in Czech Republic too, and getting a sense of their hops. And so when he came back, this was kind of the first recipe that came out of that experience for him.
Right. And is he planning to? Are you guys trying to expand that sort of style?
We've made a few different German ones that kind of they came out of that mentality and his style of brewing from that time. But we're actually all going back this September again.
Nice.
To do a little more research.
I don't know if I would call it research.
A little more drinking.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be a few other things that'll kind of come out of the woodwork from that too. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I would call it more of a cultural experience.
There you go.
If we're going to be making and selling German beers, I want to have like that German kind of cultural experience that
It's true.
we can stand behind.
But until we can drink at 9 a.m. in Ottawa, you can't do German style.
I mean,
that's true.
you do
It's
a
about to
pretty,
change it.
you do a pretty good job
We're
of drinking
almost
at
there.
9 a.m. in the
Well, I
morning.
do, but I mean everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, Clean Cut's a perfect 9 a.m. beer.
It is.
It really
It's
is.
good at 7 too.
6:30.
Yep.
Anytime.
See, he wins.
All right. I don't get up 6:30. You kidding me? Fuck that. I don't really see me before noon, man. Right? What was I going to say about that? Let's get into the beer stories actually right now. So how did you blokes get into beer, and then how did that lead to this wonderful place?
I'll let you start. You talk better.
Shane and I are friends from high school.
Okay.
So we grew up together and had a lot of fun in our high school days. I went away and came back. I was away from Ottawa for 12 years, came back. Shane and I reconnected. I'd been in the U.S. and had been exposed to what was happening there with craft beer and was drinking all kinds of different things, and came back to Ottawa and the market was very different. The availability of different types of beers, styles that you could get was pretty limited at the time. And around that time, Shane and I reconnected, and he was brewing at home.
Right.
And I remember the first time I drank his IPA, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking good.
Yeah.
and so that was kind of...
And we drank a lot of it.
that was kind of the beginning. I mean, the one I remember very little from university. The one piece that I took from one economics course was talking about U.S. and Canada economics and about trailing trends and whatever else. I mean, let's be honest. The
Right.
details are foggy at best.
Trailing trends. That actually really that it just explains the Canadian sort of slow to uptake on the US trends.
Exactly.
That's what it's called.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
official
Well, I
term?
mean, no, that's not an official term. That's a
I
term
like
that
it.
I've coined after years. But that's the
I like
idea
that.
is that the Canadian market's going to trail the US. And so
Right.
seeing where the US market was, it seemed like this was probably where the Canadian market was going to go. And so we started talking about doing a brewery.
Yeah.
And when was that?
2011? 2012.
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah, it was late 2011.
Late 2011.
Okay.
And then about a year later is when we opened.
All right.
We
You
used
can mess
to,
around.
we used to do. We gotta bring this back. Pokercation. Do you play poker?
I have played, but I'm not good. No.
Neither are
I mean,
we.
neither are we. Neither are we.
Good. Have to play.
Yeah, you just have to play.
I mean,
You just need to have a group of friends that are equally average.
Yeah, you don't want one good guy. You just don't need that. It's
right.
not
He
fair.
takes everybody's money and it's no fun.
So we coined the term pokercation, where we'd get a group of people together and we'd go away and have a couple of days where we
Normally
pretty much
at a cottage
At a cottage,
or-
a
yeah,
getaway,
right.
and we'd just go and pretty much play poker and drink beer and eat meat. And so that was when we really started hashing things out. Was
Yeah, I think we brought Rye Guy or test batches of Rye Guy and Pink Fuzz to my cottage for Pokercation that year.
Yep.
Wasn't it something like that?
Yep.
I forget what the beers were. They were test batches of,
Right.
of things we were trying
that
to
ended
do.
up being products.
That some variation of that ended up being something we released.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was good times.
So then, did you, just to step back then from your side, did you get, while Rob was sort of discovering beer in the US, how did you get into like the brewing side?
So I used to be a musician and toured a little bit of the U.S. for a while, and during that time got to drink a lot of kind of the forerunners of the craft beer movement. So we were having Sierra Nevada Pale,
Right.
Dale's Pale Ale, all those kind of
Classics.
things. And they were not available everywhere. Even Magic Cat actually was at a lot of the festivals we do and that kind of thing. And so we drink those, and none of that stuff was available here.
Right.
And so I kind of learned to love that style of beer. Couldn't find it here. Would have my father, when he was in the U.S., bring some back.
Nice.
And but other than that, couldn't get it. And so I had a lot of friends drinking at my house, and so we eventually
everybody
got a
likes free
kegerator.
beer.
Yeah.
Everybody, like when all your friends like
Yeah.
free beer, especially
So
when you're younger.
we had a big kegerator, and we were buying kegs to supply beer to all the people who were hanging out at our house.
Right. Just
And
generous.
Yeah, and my wife eventually said, "No, we can't do this." So I started brewing to make it cheaper, to make the beers that I wanted and have them in kegs, and it kind of sprung from there. And I started to find out more about great beer, how to brew good beer, and
Keep tweaking it.
Yeah.
So then you hashed out the plans at the Pokercations, and then
we started the plans. I mean, there wasn't a lot of hashing.
No,
Yeah.
it's just
I'm not that kind.
We hashed out the plans at the Wellington Gastropub on the couch.
Yep.
And in my basement.
Yep.
Yeah.
and then that led to like if you only did that at the end of 2011, then you opened a year later. I mean, that's insane. That's
Yeah,
a
we
very
moved pretty
moving.
quick on finding a space. We found a few spots that we thought we'd take and they didn't work out, and then found where we ended up starting at 5 Hamilton Ave. And when we went there, we only had 980 square feet total.
Yeah, I heard it was tiny.
So that was cold room, bathroom, retail, and brewing space.
That's crazy.
Very small.
980 square feet. And
Well,
we
when
made it work.
We started it. We really said, let's do something on the side.
Yeah,
Obviously,
part-time gig.
Part-time gig. Let's do it. We want to do this. It'll be fun. And
It got busy.
it got, yeah. It got
So we ended up going from 980 to 2,000 square feet in that space within about 6 months.
yeah, it was pretty quick.
Pretty fast. And then we realized that there was no other room to expand there. The building wasn't quite conducive to a bigger production. So we moved here. It was a little over a year after we opened. Not moved here, but
Yeah, we got
started
space
construction.
here. We got
Yeah.
space here, and the way the rules are in Ontario, you're supposed to brew 50% of the beer on site that you're going to sell at your retail store, and it just became a pain in the ass, like trying to manage two spots, trying to.
I couldn't brew enough there to make that 50% a reality.
Right.
So most of the beer was
It's
coming from here.
So then you just
And then the
moved it over
system
there.
wasn't as good. It's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass shuttling ingredients and
Yeah.
back and forth.
So we ended up moving over here completely, and that was what, almost 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like this place clearly is a lot larger than 900 square feet.
Yeah, when we first got here, we had 8,000 square feet,
Okay.
and we've slowly been increasing our footprint as
like
You did?
buying out each side? Or whatever?
Yeah, it was all run by, it was Brown's Cleaners, so dry cleaner.
Oh, yeah, I saw
and
the
so we've
signs up,
slowly
yeah.
been taking over their space.
Right.
And now they're out completely, and then we're, just
Okay.
taking over more.
What's the total space? Would you say
20.
20,000?
that we're using right now? Yeah.
Right. Oh, you still got even more.
Well,
There's more potential space.
there's more potential
Oh,
space.
whatever happened. Like,
Yeah.
when the
There's
time
either
comes.
subletters or things we can take over as we go.
And is that something that you?
We
Of
want to
course.
do it. The landlord's been very cool. I mean, there's actually space right behind the wall over there, which I after, but another 2 or 3,000 square feet. But for us, we joke all the time. We make beer, not money. and so we're kind of trying to figure out how to make the two ends meet to continue to grow successfully, profitably.
Right. I mean, it's literally the opposite problem here that you've got now. You got plenty of room to grow.
Yep.
So as things are moving, you're able to.
Oh, for sure. It's
It's
just managing that growth, figuring out where the money comes from to buy tanks.
Right. Like I've noticed the growth though. Like following you guys for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I would say. I had some friends here who'd like trade with me and they'd always send me like aromatherapy is one of the first ones I had from you guys, the super rye guy, that type of stuff. And then I remember just going into one of the really good LCBOs in Toronto, like maybe Queen's Quay, and then all of a sudden I think Pink Fuzz, one of those ones was there, and I was like, oh shit. Oh, they had your was it Tropical Saison or whatever?
Yes, Saison
yeah,
Tropical.
and I was like, yeah. I was like, this is crazy. Like I was, to me straight away, I was like, all right, you guys are really like.
Yeah,
That was an
that
indicator
was
of
that
growth.
was
Is that
about
accurate?
when we did the big up in production. Was when Saison Trop came out.
Well, was that just last summer when Saison Trop hit those, or was it the summer before?
It might have been the summer before.
Oh no, Yummy was this summer. Saison Trop was last summer.
Yeah, maybe
The first
2017
Yeah.
somewhere.
And so that's when we got the new tanks on, didn't we? Dude, it's a blur.
Details are
It's a
fuzzy.
blur.
Details are
Was that
fuzzy.
last
It is
year?
beautiful.
This year? I don't know. So we gotta have a
Yeah.
fact checker in the background.
Like John, what is it?
Yeah, John?
Last year, say something with you.
Yeah.
So 2017.
So it was as we expanded and got more space and added more tanks, we kind of were able to take on a few more brands. And
Right.
Yeah.
And that was
Because Pink Fuzz is our summer beer that we're producing consistently, and that used to take up a lot of our tank space.
right. So like as far as the way to grow, what's the current sort of growth plans as far as like you said, selling the beer, making the beer and then selling it, like so essentially it's the pushing through the other cities in Ontario now, I guess now that you've kind of, or at least Toronto is probably a key market, right?
I mean,
We're still not done with Ottawa.
yeah, I would say that we have very little business infrastructure as a company in terms
Right.
of how are we going to get shit done. One of the current focuses for us is our tap room that we're building out. We partnered with Smoke Shack. The idea being we want to bring people here. We don't know what everything else is going to look like. We're pushing out the beer that we can, but we want people to come here to be able to interact with the brand. And our location is central, which is part of the
Yeah, the
reason.
focus is on that.
Yeah.
Because basically all the beer we can make is spoken for at this point.
Right.
We're selling it.
That's
Like it's
exciting.
going. We want to get more tanks.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah. The idea is that we'd like to push out and be in more places, but
Right.
we're not in a position. We don't have the business infrastructure or the capacity to do it.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what you're sort
It's
of
the next
working
few
on,
phases,
I
I
guess.
guess. Currently,
guess
we're
so.
doing
I don't know.
construction. Rob and I were building bathrooms a few days ago.
All the ones on
And-
the side up there?
Yes,
Yeah.
and we've been just kind of heavily just involved in it right now with the construction. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay, so it's like you guys are very hands-on with every element of the business.
yeah.
Again, I mean, part of it is because we're underfunded,
Right.
right? Is that if we had oodles of money, we would fucking pay somebody to do it. You know what I didn't want to do on Monday morning was get up and fucking frame bathrooms. But I mean, it is what it is, and we're able to do it. So
Right. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the not that you are bootstrapping.
We
but
are
that
a
kind of
bootstrap
attitude.
startup.
absolutely,
6 years in.
certainly we're a bootstrap
I would
startup.
call us that still
We
to
certainly
this
were a
day.
bootstrap startup.
I mean, I guess that's part of the game.
And I
It's
think
not
we still
optimal,
are.
but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what you want it to be, but I guess it's kind of like, at the end of the day, like once you're able to step away from all that stuff, like, I don't know, it's kind of cool that if I always say that like the people when I was an employee, then like anybody I worked under, if they hadn't done the job that I was doing or they didn't know what's up, they were terrible managers. So if you guys have done everything from building the shitter to cleaning the shitter and like brewing the beer and everything, like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I would first of all say that doesn't make us good managers.
Yeah, I was like,
Certainly,
no, it doesn't.
I wouldn't go that far. But at least it gives us a step up that maybe.
Maybe kind of.
It gives us a sense of what everybody's doing, and you certainly
Right.
understand the process more. But no, it doesn't increase your management ability for sure.
Having
I
seen
was
it though, having
I
seen it,
know
though,
you were reaching there.
Like,
That
you know,
was a
you can tell
deep
when somebody
dive.
talks shit to you. You can tell when someone talks shit. Oh, this happened because of this, right? Or something went wrong because this guy didn't sign the. No, you shut the fuck up. You did it wrong, right? Like,
It's okay. Like, get over it.
I get that. You're right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
That
you
is
do
true.
get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess the point of it, like, you know, I don't want to be doing the intricate parts of our business either. But if I'm not able to do that when we hire people to do it, like, if I don't know how to, like, manage them to do that because I've done the job, then I'm going to be a pretty shitty person doing it.
Yes.
But maybe that type of stuff doesn't apply as much to,
Well,
because
it
there's so many
certainly applies.
wide-ranging.
It's
I was
like for
about to
us.
say,
At
no,
first,
you're not.
at first, I mean, even working with bookkeepers, you're like, I don't
That's
know.
the worst.
I don't know what I'm supposed to look at. And
I hate that
I
part.
wish that I'd spend more time doing it myself at the beginning because I'd have a deeper understanding of some of that. Now, I mean, years later, you get that. What do you need? What do you expect from people? For sure.
That's been the biggest learning curve on our part too. We had a terrible call from the accountant last year, a ridiculous tax bill. Like, what the fuck?
Oh damn, we did it wrong.
We have one of those.
Yeah. It's a good time, right? We're still dealing with it.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, okay, and now we won't make that mistake again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the same time, like, I guess, how are we supposed to know this? This is the shit
Oh,
they should teach
dude.
us in school. Like,
No, this whole game's been a learning curve for us. Like as much as we know what we want to brew for beer and we know how to make what we're doing, the business side of it, we've been learning the whole time. Like
Certainly.
expanding from a 3-barrel system to a 20-barrel system, and then 2,000 barrels of capacity or whatever it is, and like or 200 and whatever barrels of capacity. But it's just that expansion. You learn the whole time.
yeah.
Baptism by fire.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of the only way to go, right? Like, or the optimal way
Yes.
to. Well,
If you have
Yes
more
and no.
money, there's people who can tell you things. there's people who know more than us. But yeah.
I don't know. There's something to be said maybe about like doing it yourself for a little bit at least anyway.
It
At
makes
least
it-
in your first company.
Yeah, it makes it-
That's
Yeah.
to your point. You've
That's
done it.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
done it.
Then that's it.
It makes it
Never
way
again.
more fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You kind of maybe a bit more attachment to it or something. Like feel more prouder of the success because every intricate detail you had something
The
to do with.
scars cut just a little bit.
The scars from those frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am well cut.
Mine are more emotional.
Fair enough.
I think we pretty much covered that, man. Bro, thank you. Where can everybody find Beyond the Pale online?
What's our website?
This way,
www.btpshop.ca.
btpshop.ca.
There you
Check
go.
that out. You guys do the online ordering clearly then.
Yes, we
Yep. Order anywhere in the province. Gorgeous, glorious province of Ontario. And on socials, BTP Brewing, correct? You didn't know that, did you?
Nope. I was like, yes.
Put me on payroll.
Yeah, that's his job.
That's it.
why he's here.
So Johnny's here.
Yeah.
So check
He's
him
the
out.
producer.
He's the producer. That's what he does here. Produces everything.
Yeah.
So if you're in Ottawa, what's the address if people want to come
250 City Center.
Cool.
Look for the white patio.
through? White patio, sign out the front, come through, tap room.
We got
Food now. This food is fine. Like I like how well spiced the fries are in the
Yes.
poutine.
See?
Like it's just like it's
See?
small things. It's like
You know.
the pepper and shit.
See?
I like that. I'm from snobby ass Montreal, right? You know, like
We make a pretty kick-ass
yeah,
poutine,
I
man.
fucks with that. I don't get to eat poots a lot these days. You know? I'm fat enough
Perfect.
with the beer, so I try to avoid it. But that's fire.
You're looking fit. It's all good.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, the old the middle there. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, it's a whole thing.
I get it.
But what are you supposed to do? Say no? Not drink?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have more.
Ridiculous. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast and check out the long form audio so you can hear extraordinarily attractive gentlemen like Uncle Shane right here talk about beer and eat poutine in Ottawa because that's what we do. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Get in ya.
Cheers.